Hey guys, this is the PrinceofMacedon, and I'm doing a commentary video for Men of War. This is a multiplayer battle. I command the Germans, and my opponent is CH3 in command of the British. What you just saw was my opponent blasting away at my captured Willys B Jeep. Luckily, I was able to take out like 3 or 4 British troops in that fierce engagement. But in the end, the British half-track destroyed my Jeep, which was a captured British Jeep. And basically what you missed, it really wasn't too much in terms of armored action. So a few minutes into the battle, one of my Pumas destroyed a British Mark 7 Tetrarch, and that is basically a British light tank, which didn't see too much action. And then a few seconds afterwards, I captured a British Jeep, and that was because it was carrying infantry to one of these flag points here. So they abandoned their Jeep to capture the flag point, but their crew was wiped out by my SMG squad nearby. So if you look on the mini-map on the right, on the top right, you can see that I've captured two of the flag points. So if you look on the very, very top right, you can see that my score is increasing right now. And this is once again a Battlezones combat type. And when you play Battlezones, then you get points for holding more flag points than your opponent does. But this isn't like the combat game type where you get points for destroying units and vehicles. Here you gain points by capturing the flag points. So that's Battlezones in a nutshell, and that seems to be the most popular way of playing this game. And I really like it because it prevents people from being extreme turtles. And there's one of my spawn points. I'm going to check up on my troop here. This is Robert Schweitzer. And let's have Robert check out his target here, target retinal. I'm going to use the direct control here. I'm just going to scan the bushes there. Alright, that was Robert Schweitzer, applause. Oh, anyways, you can tell from the visuals here is that I have upped the graphics on this game here by cranking up the Anti-Aliasing, or whatever you call that, and I also cranked up the shadows. And I also cranked up the bloom effect, so you can see that it looks prettier now. I think it's great that a game like this, which is a real-time strategy, actually cares to make its visuals impressive, because most RTSs don't really have good graphics. So I think from now on I'll be playing my games like this, because this looks prettier. Right, there's a British half-track again. That's the one you saw at the beginning of the video. It dropped off some of its troops. I think only 1 or 2 troops. But my Tiger tank right here is going to finish it off. And there were 3, I believe 2 or 3 troops inside. And they perished with their half-track. Alright, so I still control 2 flag points. My opponent controls 1 flag point. On the top right, a British vehicle just appeared. You can see that red arrow. And right here, there was something going on with my opponent. Look, he writes oops, and I'm not sure what he did to cause that momentary lag. Oh, and by the way, my opponent, he's pretty much brand new to this game. I saw his record when I played this game. He only had like, I think 5 battles under his stats. So he's brand new to this game. Alright, so here's the middle flag point here. And you can see that my opponent is capturing it. So now it's neutral now, and pretty soon it'll be his. I've got no troops nearby, but that's going to change in a second here. This is my leftmost flag point. That's now my only remaining flag point. So my opponent's about to have 2 flag points, and there he goes. On the top right, you can see that he has 2 flag points. And now, because my opponent has more flag points than I do, you're going to see his score raise. Or rise, whatever. So I'm going to take my tanks and infantry, and I'm going to converge on that flag point in the middle. Alright. This is my Tiger tank towards the northern part of the map here. So I'm going to come forward here. There's a slight close-up of my Tiger. And on the very top I have my reconnaissance vehicle. That's my Puma. And he comes across against a Sherman. The Sherman theoretically has the edge, but there we disabled our turrets, respectively. And And seeing that piece of action, I knew my Kuma was going to bite it. So I'm going to race forward here with my infantry and my Tiger tank, and I'm going to try to finish off that Sherman right there before it gets away. You can see him trying to hightail it out of there. He probably would have been better off just doing a reverse instead of making a complete 180 turn. So I'm going to come forward here. I'm going to crash right through that building. We'll let the locals repair it after the war. And there's the Sherman. I'm going to take it out. There I took out its track. So now it can't get away. And here's my other Tiger tank. I'm going to move up and try to capture that flag point, since my opponent's attention seems to be on the top right now. So we're going to come forward here. And there my Tiger took out the Sherman. Now I'm going to focus my target on that Cromwell. The Cromwell tank was considered a cavalry tank, and they were supposed to operate like the cavalry of old times, where they would move independently of the army and strike hard. And speed was a necessity for a so-called cavalry tank. Alright, so the crew of both of those tanks are now shooting it out with my SMG squad, so I'm going to provide some armor support with my Tiger tank. This might be overkill for taking on a crew, but you never know, there might be some other kind of units nearby. Alright, let me show you a quick close-up of the action. And you can see my dudes shooting at the crew members there. And at some point, my machine gunner on top went back into the tank and buttoned up. I guess he felt threatened by the troops. Alright, this is the middle flag point here. I'm going to try to capture it. And there's some minor opposition right there. Those are British assault infantry, and we took them out. There were four men in that squad. Now I'm going to reverse course with my Tiger tank. Oh, look at that! A British land fortress opened up on my units just as I was capturing that flag point. So my opponent had that area pre-sighted already. So that's what you call walking into a kill zone. That kind of sucked. Alright, so right there, my Tiger tank on the top took out some kind of tank up there. Alright, now I'm free to take my Tiger tank and move back, and I'm going to try to capture the last remaining flag point, and that's under British control. Under control by my opponent, this is CH3. So we're going to try to strike from his north, and maybe this unexpected direction will throw him off here. The problem is that my opponent spawns troops. If he spawns troops, then he will have these troops right here from the rear. So it's a slight risk, but you can see my turret is facing that way, where the British troops spawned. So just in case something pops up, my Tiger tank can fire immediately at it. Alright, so there's only a minute and 39 seconds left, and I've got a huge lead right now in terms of points. But I'm still going to try to capture that last flag. And right there, a British red vehicle approached on the minimap. So I'm going to come forward with my Tiger tank and my infantry. I'm going to try to silence it. And that is a Matilda. That is once again that's an infantry tank. It's got a fairly good armor, but the gun on there is very light. So you can just sense my opponent's frustration, because in most of the tanks he's been using, they have very light guns on them, and when confronted by a Tiger, it's very hard to penetrate. So you need a good flank shot, or especially a good rear shot, to take on a Tiger. Alright, here my opponent has a better vehicle this time. This time it's a Firefly shooting at my Tiger tank. Alright, that shot right there could have damaged my tank, but I got lucky there. So now I'm going to face off in a frontal fight with that Firefly, and luckily my Tiger succeeded in taking out the Firefly. And the Firefly was one of the British Army's best tanks against the German armor. It had a very good gun on there. It was basically a Sherman tank, but with an upgraded gun. Alright, there my opponent just destroyed the turret on my Tiger tank with an Archer. An Archer was basically a self-propelled gun. It's got a very good gun on there. Very heavy though. But there's only 3 seconds left. And I'm trying to write a message to my opponent. And watch, at the very last second, my opponent's Archer destroys my Tiger tank. but I managed to win the battle on points. Very good game to my opponent.